In his debut as a senior national reporter, and the title goes on and on and on. Watched him for decades, as Kyle said. I love the excitement and thrill that Sal Pal had on his first time on Good Morning Football.
A lot of the cool things about this job, you get to meet people. Dan Marino, John Elway, those are all awesome. But I have to tell you, just as a sports fan, it's cool to meet people like Sal Paolantonio, who I've watched since I was in high school. Reese Davis, Mike Greenberg, just on and on. I've seen these people as part of my lives. And the next thing you know, you're sitting on a remote with them asking about Drake May's chemistry with A.J. Brown. It's a very, very cool thing. ESPN, NFL media together. And I don't apologize for geeking out about Sal Pal and some of his colleagues there at ESPN, because there are colleagues now, and that's really cool for me. And I know a lot of others, too.
And the thrill he brought to the table, we appreciate.
You got a quote.
He did. Rip it and rip it. Quote, Sal Pal. Speaking of quotes on quotes on quotes. We got a couple that we have to rifle through here in the start of our second hour. Things are heating up in Dallas as the start of the regular season looms large after an offseason that saw a major overhaul on the defensive side of the ball. Coach Brian Schottenheimer couldn't hide his excitement when he met with the media yesterday to discuss.
I love our roster. I mean, I really do. I think, we're a talented roster. We're way different on paper this year than we were last year, but we're not done. We're not done developing our players. We're not done getting the young guys ready to go. We're not done potentially adding pieces, but I love our roster. I love the makeup of the young men in that room, the way they love one another, the way they care about one another. And, I know I pointed out the other day, but I'm going to point out again, if you got guys like Jonathan Mingo that's literally 25 yards behind the play, and he's willing to run for the love of the game, but more importantly, the love of his brother, to keep a guy from scoring on a punt return for a touchdown, you've got the right chemistry.
All right, on paper, the roster has definitely been upgraded, especially if you ask the head coach. But we've heard this statement before. A team looks better. But does that translate to the field when all is said and done and the season actually begins? Will the Cowboys be better on paper, Manti, or on the field in 2026?
If they are able to play like they are on paper, they'll go far this season. And so how do they take what's on paper and put it on the field? There's 3 C's: communication, chemistry, and culture. Now, the communication, that's on Brian Schottenheimer. That's on Christian Parker, because what they struggled with last year, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, was in the communication department. 2 guys playing different coverages, 2 D linemen doing different things. That's how they were getting gashed. Brian Schottenheimer and Christian Parker, especially Christian Parker, was brought in to kind of remedy all that. Yes, he's installing a new system, all of that. But when you look at what they did in Philly, there weren't any mental errors, we call them. At least there weren't a lot. Bring that over to Dallas. That's one way that you can get what's on paper to on the field. Now, the chemistry part, they've been working on that. I mean, Dak Prescott took his boys to Park City. You see, the chemistry between CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, and it doesn't hurt to have 2 former teammates on your defensive front that used to play in Green Bay Packers together. Now, the last thing is culture. And Brian Schottenheimer talked about it in that clip there. That's what's being built right now during training camp. That's going to continue to be built throughout the season. So if they can master those 3 C's, Kyle, that's the fastest way they can take what's on paper, because what's on paper is nice and it's beautiful and it can get you a lot of wins, and take it and put it onto the field, KB.
They always look good on paper. That's part of the company bedrock, is they look good. They have flashy items, and they have star players and famous people, and that's all great. And they're usually really good on the field. The Cowboys always this time of year have the energy of a really exciting movie trailer, where you're like, oh, wow, look at that. That's going to be cool. And I like that actor, and this is going to be so great. Sometimes the movie's not that good. But I think this movie will be good. I really do. If you look at the Cowboys and you're like, what is the reason they don't work out this year? What is the reason that they finish 8-9? I mean, I don't really see it. They're doing everything they possibly can in the post-Micah era to bolster up the D-line, including guys into their mid-30s getting signed like Von Miller. They understand that Micah brought a lot, and they're trying to bandage up that wound that was caused by getting rid of him. So, I don't know, maybe you don't love the secondary, but the offense is going to be awesome. Those 2 receivers, Javonte Williams I like as a running back. It's just, I think they'll be better, just as good. It's a push, just as good on the field as they are on paper. I don't have doubts about them. It's not playoff team picking time yet, but I just don't understand the reason not to pick the Cowboys unless you just love the division so much and think the Giants are going to make a big jump. They'll be very good. I think they really will. I have no rug pull on this where I say they're going to fall on their face. I don't think so, and I like their coach.
I think I'm detecting tepid optimism out of KB. I know he doesn't like to be pegged, but I think that's what I'm detecting, tepid optimism. We'll see when that hits for the Raiders. The Raiders and the Texans held a joint practice yesterday, and rookie quarterback #1 overall pick Fernando Mendoza couldn't help but be positive. Naturally, that's like his baseline. Positive in his assessment of his performance against the vaunted Houston defense. Take a listen.
I think it's great. I mean, especially we go against our defense, which is fantastic, and it's a top defense every single day, and then now be able to go against the Texans defense, which is also a top defense in the league, go against them, be able to get some reps with the ones against the superstars on their defense, and then obviously their twos are fantastic as well. We got so much work, whether it was move the ball, first down, third down, red zone, 2-minute. There were so many situations, and I believe overall it was a positive day. There were plays that I loved and plays that I wish I had back, but in reality, that's a lie. I wish I didn't have them back because it's a growing experience, and it's practice. It's practice, and this is what I love, and it's just a beautiful day to play football here, and I'm so happy of so many things to learn from today.
Protect him at all times. Don't change as long as it is, and there's no reason for us to think that that is not his true, authentic self. I need him to never change because that is like a character out of Office Space, it feels like. He's like, we would love to get some of those minutes back. Actually not, because it was a growing experience. Yes, Fernando Mendoza. Yes. How positive are we that Mendoza will have a positive impact for the Raiders in 2026, Manti?
I mean, when you speak that way, when you see life that way, when you see your mistakes as learning experiences, what can be negative about it? The thing I love about Fernando Mendoza is there's a big difference between positivity and optimism and being delusional. With Fernando, I don't get the delusional part. It's like the guy really believes that everything's going to be okay, and he also admits where there's fault. But then he also admits that, hey, the beautiful thing about football is you get another chance at it. You get another shot. I saw a little bit into that interview that he had post-practice where he talked about the mistakes that he made. He's like, listen, I don't want to make the mistakes, but if there's any time to make it, it's today in practice, not on game day. And so, again, that's what I love about the young man is he has this outlook on the game where if you're a quarterback, you have to have that short-term memory. You have to be able to make those great plays, but then also make the mistakes, take those lessons, and then carry it on and continue those positive things and then stop the negative things. I think KB, he has the right mindset because he's positive, but at the same time, he's not delusional.
Maybe it's because I'm at home and you're in the studio, but for me, the production booth played a clip of Mr. Rogers for like 15 seconds, and I haven't seen Mr. Rogers in a long time. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Listen, I'm not going to be a jerk here. All right, that's a very awesome clip to show your kids, to show it. It's a positive, good energy. It's a beautiful day to be playing football and learning. Here's my question, okay? Indulge the hypothetical that just maybe the Raiders season doesn't go well. Just maybe, all right? Put me in like mid-November and the season's just been bad and everybody's hurt and Mendoza's out there starting and they're like, 3-9 and they're losing by 30 points and he's out there and there's a backup receiver who runs the wrong route and it causes Mendoza to throw a pick six. Like, is he coming with that stuff then? Like, does he have any bleeper in him, like that mother blah blah blah? Like, is he gonna scream at somebody and be like, get in your right spot and run the right route? And do you need to have that as a quarterback? I know there's all different kinds of leadership. I don't know if we've ever quite seen a personality like his come in at the #1 overall pick. Andrew Luck was a golly gee, great play, everything, but Andrew Luck also had that in him and things weren't going well. I'm fascinated to see what happens to Mr. Rogers, Mr. Mendoza, when things are bad. And oftentimes with the Raiders, they are. So if you can have that now, everybody's optimistic now. No one's played a game. When he starts getting hit and maybe it gets cold and everyone's coming for him, and I'm fascinated to play this clip then. And I hope that never happens because I'm rooting for him. But I just wonder that as a leader. I mean, look at Indiana. It was incredible.
Yeah.
The season they had was this dream season. Everything was great. What happens to Mendoza when he's getting his teeth kicked in? Does he still have that, or is there a different gear, or does he go dark? really buckling up for the personality ride, and I really like him, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
As the sound was playing, I was closing my eyes listening to his affect and just how he emphasizes certain words and the adjectives that he uses and the synonyms for positivity is fantastic, which is one of them. And my mind was drawn to who is the opposite experience of that as a quarterback in the NFL. And I'm thinking like I'm one of their teammates in the media. And to me, it's Jalen Hurts. So if we can expect Jalen Hurts to be this, whether he wins a Super Bowl or loses week 1 of the preseason, then why can't we expect Fernando Mendoza to stay like this, but if things are going well or they're going terribly? So I just want those guys. And again, if we want to say Jalen is authentically being himself when he answers, as we've done before with him, I want Fernando to say the same, no matter how challenging it gets.
Yeah, I think when you talk about Fernando Mendoza, for some reason, when you're talking about somebody who's positive in negative situations, sometimes if you are the Raiders and you're not used to when the seas get a little rough, you're like, oh, crap, here we go again, that you need a captain that's like, hey, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Especially in the division that they're in, they're going to get their bumps, they're going to get their bruises, they're going to get their losses. You don't want a captain that's in there like, okay, everybody jump ship, it's on to next year. You want somebody to grab that thing and be like, hey, we're going to finish this thing out no matter what, and it's going to be okay in the end. I like that out of the young man. He's not deterred by the negative things, and he takes those negative things and learns from it.
The way he speaks, it does have some Jim Harbaugh to him because